In this video, I'll be cutting through the jargon to tell you guys what the terminology on your hair products actually means. There are billions of hair products on the men's market these days, and if you're not familiar with these sorts of things, it can be very difficult to decide what you actually need for the hairstyle you want to go for. You've got stuff like clays, putties, pastes, loads and loads of other different hairstyling jargon. So today we're going to be breaking down some of this writing and seeing what it actually means in practical terms. In terms of each of the products that I'm going to be showing you guys and using as examples in this video, I'm going to link all of them in the description below if you want to check them out. Let's dive straight in then. So when it comes to men's products, there's generally two types of products you can get. You've got pre-styling products, which are those that you use before using a hairdryer, and then there are post-styling products, which are those that you use after a hairdryer. These are sometimes known as the traditional styling products. First, we'll take a look at the pre-styler jargon, and then we'll move on to the post-styler stuff afterwards. Usually, you use pre-stylers in wet hair, and they'll usually include one of the three terms: volumizing, texturizing, or thickening. This one is very self-explanatory. You've got the volumizing products, which allow you to get more lift in your hair. The texturizing products give your hair a bit more of that 3D effect, a bit more of a disheveled look. And then you've got the thickening products, which make your hair look and feel slightly thicker. Let's take a look at three typical pre-stylers and what they actually end up doing. First up, we've got sea salt spray. Sea salt spray is a pre-styler that adds texture and a slight amount of volume. Next, we've got mousses. Now, mousses are definitely misused by most men. Mousses are supposed to be used as a pre-styler before using a hairdryer. And if you're after a super voluminous high hairstyle, this is the one to go for. Mousses offer really high volume. And the third pre-styler that I'm going to show you guys is the thickening tonic. You've seen me use these many times before on the channel. Essentially, the thickening tonic adds a slight amount of volume to the hair, but also makes the hair feel slightly thicker and more dense. And if you're a guy with fine or thinning hair, then this is a pre-styler that could be definitely of use to you. Okay, so before we move into the post-styling, the more traditional styling products, I want to talk a bit about some of the jargon to do with this category. Generally, most products will come with some sort of rating for the hold and also the finish. Now, the hold is how long your hair will supposedly stand in place for, and the finish is normally a reference to how greasy the hair looks after using the product. In terms of hold overall, I see all sorts of claims from different products, loads of which these days claim to be a high hold, aren't necessarily. But there is one type of hold that definitely makes it onto the jargon buster list today, and that is this reworkable or flexible hold. And in a lot of cases, unfortunately, this claim is just a cover up for saying this product has no hold. And I think for 9 out of 10 of you guys out there, if you want your hairstyle to sort of stay in the same place for most of the day, then something like this isn't going to be of much use. It's very rare I ever see a guy changing his hairstyle in a day. It's certainly something to bear in mind. And then when it comes to finish, you've generally got products that are more shiny than others, and then others that are matte finish. Years ago, when you were restricted to products like hair wax or hair gel by itself, often these would appear very greasy or wet in the hair. But these days you've got many more choices of these matte finish products, which leave the hair looking like it really doesn't have much product in it. And I think in most cases it looks more natural, it just looks better on most people. It's time to dive into the styling products now, and I want to begin with three of the more traditional style products that you may be familiar with. The first one here is hair gel. Now, I'm not a really big fan of hair gel. I don't think it really looks very good in this day and age. This product is high shine and relatively high hold, but it leaves the hair with a crispy feeling. Often it has this wet look as well, which means that you can see straight through to your scalp. Next on the list, we have got traditional styling wax. Now, when it comes to waxes in general, when I say the word wax, I really think of the traditional stuff that literally looks like candle wax. But technically, lots of the other products that I'm going to be mentioning in a second in this video are also technically wax-based, so you could consider them waxes as well. But to keep it simple, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to keep this one here in its own separate category. Styling wax is more of a medium shine product. It's not as crispy as gel. The hold factor I find really varies with waxes. Sometimes they are really good, other times they are terrible. And the last of the more traditional style hair products that you may be familiar with is pomades. Initially, these may seem very much like the traditional styling wax, apart from the fact that these are petroleum based normally. But again, these days you have got quite a lot of variants with regards to different types of pomades. I find that a lot of them perform like creams, which I'll talk about in a second. But in terms of the traditional pomade, you're going to get a really slick finish, often with a slightly higher hold than styling wax. This one is definitely a wet look, but again, it doesn't end up super crispy like with the hair gel. This is going to be ideal if you're looking for a really formal, slick-backed hairstyle. Now we move on to my favourite part of this video, definitely, which is the more modern types of products on the men's market. We are very lucky to now have some options that aren't going to leave your hair looking super crispy or super shiny. Firstly, let's talk about creams. Now, creams have the exact consistency that you may expect. These are the least thick of all the options in this video. Typically, these styling creams are designed for guys with slightly longer hair. They normally offer low to medium hold and typically have a medium to high shine. The molding cream that I've included in today's video, however, is actually a really quite strong hold. So if that's what you want, then this is certainly one to check out. Pastes, putties, gums. Apparently 3 different things. From my experience of trying dozens and dozens of them, they're all interchangeable. This term really applies to something that is slightly more solid than the creams, but not quite as solid as something like a clay. These products are normally low to medium shine, but the hold absolutely varies between brands. And if you want to know some great examples of these, I'm going to list some of my personal favorites in the description too. Next, we move on to fibers. This is super easy. Fibers are very, very similar to the pastes, putties and gums that I just mentioned. The only real difference is being that fibers tend to have a bit more of a fibrous consistency, as you can imagine, and they tend to be on the higher end of the hold spectrum. As a result, these are some of my go-to products when it comes to these high lifted pompadour hairstyles where you want a matte finish. And finally, we move on to one of the most popular types of men's hair products at the moment, which is hair clays. As the name implies, these are the products of the thickest consistency on this list. These typically offer a slightly heavier hold compared to some of the products we've previously mentioned, which means that if you're a guy with thicker hair, then these could be your go-to product. They usually have quite a strong hold, although you're not able to usually retain massive amounts of volume with these products. And almost always these come with a matte finish. And other than that, guys, you've just got to choose a hairspray that you can use to fix your style in place all day. Now this could be a whole video in itself, so to not drag on any further, I just want to recommend to you guys my personal pick at the moment for men's hairsprays, which is the Johnny's Chop Shop Power Hold Hairspray. I found that this does a fantastic job. And again, if you're going to be choosing between the firm hold hairsprays and the flexible hold hairsprays, definitely go with the one that's going to lock your hair in place, which is normally the firm hold. If you're still struggling for volume in the hair, there's things like boost powders out there on the market, which you just put in and it increases the volume in your hair, as well as the dry shampoos, which also add volume and texture to the hair too. So there you go, gents. It's going to be super easy for you next time you're out there looking for a hair product. Before we end this video, I've got an exciting announcement to make. And this is for you guys out there that enjoy my videos, that watch my videos quite regularly, and you think that I'm helping you somewhat. You guys know that I'm really serious about what I do here on YouTube in terms of I always want to be making content for you guys. But it's difficult because I don't want to be one of these guys that is making literally daily sponsored videos. It would make me feel like I was coming across as a bit of a dodgy salesman, a bit of a pushy salesman, really. That isn't me. So as opposed to, really throwing myself down that route, I have finally set up Patreon, guys. You can help me to make more videos and better videos every single time. I made this super affordable and you can get tons and tons of stuff in return. Things like early access to videos, extra free bonus videos, giveaways, loads of other stuff. The list goes on and on. I highly recommend checking it out if you're someone that enjoys my content and you want a bit more. Just do it! I'll have a link to that on the end screen of the video, as well as in the cards above, so you can go check it out. I've got a full description video on there explaining exactly what the site is, how it works, and what you can get in return. And for those of you who are generous enough to support me on there, you're not going to regret it. And thanks for just being awesome. Anyway, lads, that's enough of me droning on. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it a like. And also, if you want to see more videos like this and you're still watching at this stage in the video and you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so YouTube will actually tell you, when I upload a video. This is all absolutely free, and I'll see you guys on the next one.